So today we'll begin this chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Opulence of Absolute. And as I said, I'll give a high-level overview of all the chapters up to chapter 9. Okay, just one line summary. So if you have missed any of previous sessions, you will be caught up. Okay, in the first 6 chapters, Krishna spoke about Karma Yoga. Okay, so how this Bhagavad Gita started? So it was started or spoken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Okay, when Arjuna was ready to fight, combat the opponents on the other side, Kauravas. And that time, looking at the opponents, he was totally heartbroken, totally grief-stricken. His opponents were, to his unfortunate situation, his opponents were his own relatives. But Arjuna never wanted to fight with them. But it is Kauravas, because of Kauravas, Arjuna or the entire Pandavas, as a duty, they are doing this. They are engaged in this battle. Because they are Kshatriyas, they have to protect the citizens and everybody. Just for that reason, they are on the battlefield. So looking at the opponents who were his relatives, Arjuna was literally crying. He broke out. Tears were flowing from his eyes. He was totally confused. What to do, what not to do. He thought, like, he gives various reasons and wants to renounce. The first reason, he out of compassion, various symptoms appeared from his body, like his body was shivering and was literally crying, tears was flowing from his eyes. And he also says, Krishna, I don't see any enjoyment in battling here. What is the use of victory when all my relatives are died? I don't see any enjoyment in battle here. And he also says, I'll get sinful reaction. If I kill, I'll get sinful reaction. That's Papa. And not just that, my entire family tradition will be lost. The Kuru dynasty, even though Pandavas, we say Pandavas and Kauravas, they are all part of one tree, that is Kuru. Kuru, they are all Kurus only, Kuru dynasty. So he says the entire family dynasty will be gone. This will be destructed. They'll be doing bad practices. If the elders are dead, and the elders on the family are died, there will be a destruction in the tradition. And he also says, I'm totally confused, Krishna. I'm on this battlefield, I'm totally confused. You tell me what is right for me. Okay, so that's the chapter 1, high level. Okay, so the message Krishna speaks, it is not just for Arjuna, it is for everybody. Krishna touches various aspects of life, soul, about the God, about the nature, about the time, about the karma, the why people take birth. And Krishna also gives various paths to attain liberation. The most important message which is spoken in the Bhagavad Gita is moksha. Okay, we'll see how Krishna connects it to moksha. So Krishna starts speaking, and Krishna says, beginning in the 2nd chapter, chapter is titled Sankhya Yoga, where Krishna clears a misconception Arjuna had. Arjuna thought when he kills his enemies, their existence will be gone forever. Okay, when the bodies die, they'll be gone forever. That's what he thought. So our Krishna wants to clear that misconception. Krishna says, Arjuna, don't think they are the bodies, they are the souls. They are the souls. They have existed in the past, they are existed now, they'll be existing in future also. And when they die, what dies is the body, not the soul. Soul is eternal. Soul is eternal, says Krishna. And the soul changes the body just like how we change our dress. How we change our dress every day. When that dress is not good for wearing anymore, we'll throw it away and wear a different dress. Similarly, Atma also sheds the body when the body is unfit for living. Atma just goes to another body. By the supervision of the Lord, that happens. Okay. And Krishna further goes. Here is a turning point of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Arjuna, do you think you get sin by doing your duty? But in case of you, you are a Kshatriya, you are a soldier, like a police officer. That is your duty to fight. If you do your duty, you can attain liberation. Don't think your duty to be a simple activity or a cheap act. Your duty, when it is performed, will help you to attain liberation, moksha. So that's the turning point. Krishna speaks about that throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so the content, Krishna is driving Arjuna towards moksha, showing it as an impetus for Arjuna to do his duty. The whole purpose of human life while living in this world, being engaged in all kinds of activities, family activities, or job activities, any kind of activities, any kind of jobs we are doing, the whole purpose is to attain liberation, moksha. If we keep that as a motive, my goal in this world is to attain liberation, then our life will be so cool. Our life will be so good. So, to attain moksha, liberation, Krishna is saying here, Arjuna, don't think your work is a cheap activity. You do your duty, be a karma yogi. Not just doing your duty, but work with some uh, higher motive. So Krishna is saying you don't have to change your job profile. If you have a job profile, continue your job profile and just change your mindset. That is a Buddhi Yoga, Krishna teaches. Buddhi Yoga. You continue your job profile, change your mindset. Hmm? Do as a karma yogi. Work like a karma yogi. How is that? One has to work. Any action, anything we do as a service to the Lord, as selfless service to the Lord. I'm doing this for the pleasure of Krishna. Without expectation of a result. Without expectation of a result. I'll be successful or failure. I have no expectation. I'm fully work focused, not result focused. That is point two. And the point three is one has to be neutral in success or failure, and do not get attached to success or do not get attached to failure. One should be neutral in success or failure. Krishna is saying you practice like this, Arjuna, and everybody. If you practice like this, one gets a clear understanding that we are not this body, we are Atma, we are temporary living beings. So we'll attain the Gnana. By practice of Karma Yoga, one develops Gnana. When the Gnana matures, one could come to the stage of a self-realized soul. Okay, and Krishna talks about Arjuna asks this. I want to know about that self-realized soul. Arjuna was pretty much interested in renunciation and not doing his duty. So Arjuna asked this question, I want to know about that self-realized soul. Can you tell me, Krishna? Okay, then Krishna talks about Sthita Prajna. A person, a gnani, is undisturbed by any changes. And Krishna talks about that in detail. And after hearing from Krishna about Sthita Prajna, and Krishna is driving Arjuna to become a gnani, a self-realized soul. In the third chapter, beginning of the third chapter, Arjuna asks this question. Krishna, if you're asking me if my goal of life is to attain liberation, why are you engaging me in this warfare? Why should I do my duty? Why can't I go and work towards my liberation? Then Krishna teaches this beautiful Karma Yoga in detail so that Arjuna can understand and continue his job profile. So Krishna says, everybody has to work. Everybody has to work. In this existence, any living being, whether it be a ant or a Brahma, Lord Brahma, or anybody, any living entity in this material world has to work. No one can abscond from working. Everybody has to work. Hmm? The whole system is made in a way for us so that we can work, right? So work not just a work to earn money. People usually think like work is something like going and getting a money. No, that is also work to earn money. But here Krishna is saying like any action you do is also work. Okay, taking care of my children is a work. Taking care of my husband is a work, right? Or my wife is a work. Or going to office to earn money is a work. Or helping others, volunteering service is also a work. Or even taking care of our body is also a karma. Taking care of our body is also a work, a karma. In all our activities, we think we are so much disturbed. Is work is so burden. Work is not so enjoying. We think, right? So Krishna is saying, do all the duties as a yogi, a work, karma yogi. If you're not ready for a karma yogi, you better be follow your dharma. Don't run away from your dharma. Krishna says, I made a system of karma kanda where you fulfill your desires. If you have a desires to be fulfilled, fulfill your desires in a dharmic way, but live a dharmic life. Huh? And if you think you can work, you can practice karma yoga, that's good. Okay, you can practice karma yoga. Even the great souls like Janaka and the great saintly persons who are at the stage of self-realized soul, they also work. Even the great devotee of the Lord also has to work. Everybody has to work. Everybody has to do his duty. Everybody has their duties. Everybody has to do their duties. Right? So Krishna emphasizes importance of karma and karma yoga. And Krishna says, by such working, doing your duty as a selfless service to the Lord without expectation of result, being neutral to success or failure, if you work like a yogi, you can come to the stage of a liberated soul, a self-realized soul. You will attain the jnana. After hearing 3 chapters, Arjuna was little perplexed. He had a perplexed face with expressions, and looking at Arjuna's face, Krishna could understand, and he starts speaking. Krishna says, Arjuna, don't think this is the first time I'm teaching you the Karma Yoga. I have taught this Karma Yoga to many people in the past. Many people have practiced and many people have attained perfection. Okay. And have most recently, I have taught this to Vivaswan. That was like millions of years ago. Then Arjuna asked this question, really, Krishna? Were you there that time also? In the beginning of the creation? That time, this is another turning point. That time, Krishna teaches or speaks about himself. Arjuna, don't think I'm also a normal person like you. I'm the Supreme Lord. Hmm? I exist. Just like you exist, I also exist, but I'm eternal, I'm changeless. Hmm? In case of you, you have to go through bodily changes. You die, take birth, but I'm not like that. I'm Ajaha, I'm unborn. I, being the Supreme Lord, Brahman, I appear. Krishna is saying, my appearance is not like your appearance. You don't have a choice. In case of Arjuna and everybody, we don't have a choice of father, mother. We are just put into a family. We have no idea where we came from. After taking birth, after maybe 1 year or 6 months or 1 year, we realize, okay, this is my mother, this is my father. I need to be with them. For some people, life also comes like that. We have no idea. People just be part of our life, right? We have no choice where we take birth. We have no choice how we die, right? So Krishna is saying, I'm not like you. I'm not like you, a normal human being. I'm a supreme Lord. I appear, I descend into this material world for a purpose, for a reason. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधनं विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Krishna says, whenever and wherever, according to time, place, circumstance, situation, when there is a disturbance in society, when there is a chaos everywhere, law and order is totally broken, nobody following their dharma, that time Krishna descends. He says, when he descends as he is. As he is. He is a God. Even though he's in the material world, he's still God. Okay. And Krishna also says a very beautiful statement here. Janma karma chame divyam. My birth, Janma, my karma, my activities, even though I'm being in this material world, I work and do all kinds of activities are divine. Are divine. If you can understand about that, Taktya Deham Punarjanma Naitimam Yesato Arjuna. It is a message to Arjuna and also to everybody that if you can understand the God's appearance and pastimes, for such a person, there is no rebirth. There is no rebirth. That person who understands the God clearly, that person will not have a rebirth. He doesn't need to cut the cake every year. So, I mean, after death, he'll go to spiritual worlds. Such is a message Krishna says here. Okay. And he further goes back to the topic of Karma Yoga. It is because of Arjuna's face, Krishna has to explain about himself that he is different from ordinary human beings. And again, Krishna goes back to Karma Yoga concept, Karma Yoga theory. So he continues that he gives various practices of Karma Yoga, where he teaches a very beautiful thing. He says, see your work as a spiritual activity. Any activity we do, Krishna is saying, you see as a spiritual activity. So just like if you go to temple, we think like, okay, that is a spiritual activity. I'm going to the temple, it's a spiritual activity, right? I'm chanting the holy name of the Lord, it's a spiritual activity. So Krishna says, any action you do, any action you do, or anything you do, look at it as a spiritual activity and do it for the pleasure of Krishna. So Krishna says, if you can work like that, you don't have to renounce. You're considered a renunciate. You're considered a renunciate. You don't have to renounce. People in general think that one has to renounce the world to attain self-realization and free from karma. One has to renounce the world. People have this conception. No. Krishna says you do work like a karma yogi with proper gnana, knowledge, then you're considered a renunciate. If you're working like a karma yogi, you're considered a renunciate. Wow. So then Arjuna asks question again in the 5th chapter, beginning of 5th chapter. He says, okay, Krishna, you're not letting me go. I want to run away from the battlefield. I want to renounce the world. I want to live a life, and you're not letting me. You're making me sit and do my duty here. Okay, I understand. You are making me sit here. I'm ready to do your duty. I understood the Karma Yoga. By this time, Arjuna understood Karma Yoga. Okay, he wants to do his duty. Krishna is not living anyway. Krishna is not letting him go anyway, and he understood that he has to work. Now Arjuna asks this beautiful question. He says, I'm a little confused. Can you tell me which one is most beneficial, the Karma Yoga or Gnana Yoga? Gnana Yoga requires the path of renunciation. One has to do that anyway, right? Arjuna, Krishna. So can you tell me which is more beneficial? Okay, this is when Krishna teaches 5th chapter, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, right? So Krishna says, Karma Yoga in itself is good enough. You don't have to renounce. You don't have to renounce. Karma Yoga is itself good enough. Karma Yoga is a faster way to attain the Supreme Lord, attain moksha. And A karma yogi is also considered a renunciate. For a karma yogi, even while working, he can start bringing God in his life by doing the work as a service to the Lord, and he can meditate on the Lord. And it is so easy, right? Practicing living a life and living the life the way we have been living is so easy, right? So we have been used to work. That's what our Krishna says. You have been used to work. You are a warrior, you are a kshatriya, you have been used to do your duties. You continue doing your duty. Continue doing your duty, but work like a yogi. And this will make you, the karma yoga in itself is beneficial, which will make you to attain, which will help you to attain self-realization faster. It's the fastest route. Right? I-64, I-70, which way to go? Tell me. Right? So Krishna is saying, you go this way only. Don't go that way. Don't ready. You're not ready for that. Okay. And Krishna also teaches the difficulties in the path of Gnana Yoga. And Krishna also says there are three doers one has to uh, know about. Okay. In this entire creation, like in this body, for me to act, there are three doers. One doer is myself, I'm Atma, right? Atma. And second doer is Bhagwan himself, God. And third doer is the Prakriti, material nature. Okay. So propelled, we are propelled. We're propelled in such a way according to our mindset and actions to do an action. Okay. So Krishna is saying we cannot even lift our hand or do anything without the approval or without the divine intervention. Everything happens because of God only. Okay. So gain that knowledge and fix the mind on the Supreme Lord. And Krishna ends that chapter. And that's the seed for the sixth chapter. Krishna says, now that if you think you are ready by the practice of Karma Yoga, you can take up the path of Dhyana Yoga. Okay, Dhyana requires meditation. So one has to sit and meditate. And for us to sit and meditate, one has to gain various prerequisite. One has to uh, have good bodily fitness and mind fitness. Okay, so yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara stages, all the stages Krishna teaches. It's like one has to eat a limited food. If you're eating too much food is a problem, too little food is also a problem. Too much sleep also a problem, too less sleep also a problem. One has to live a regulated life to live like a yogi. So when the body is fit, mind is fit, one can start meditating, sit and meditating on Atma. So this is a Dhyana Yoga practice Krishna is teaching because it is applicable. I mean, as per the scriptures, this is also a syllabus Krishna has to teach. Krishna teaches Dhyana Yoga practices, and that is so intense practice. Wherever the mind goes, one has to pull it back. Wherever the mind goes, even if we all have experience on doing meditation, right? If you sit and meditate, close our eyes, some people dream, some people sleep, uh, some people are totally lost, right? Some people sitting position goes to sleeping position. It starts with a sitting position, becomes sleeping position, right? So, but for a yogi, for a practitioner, he has to have good control of mind and senses. One has to eat a good food, sattvic food, when the body is fit, that can be used to control the mind and senses. Wherever the mind goes, bring it back, says Krishna. Then Arjuna says, Krishna, you are teaching me a so difficult thing. I can control the wind. If the wind blows here and there, I can control it, but I can't control the mind. This is hard for me. I cannot practice it. Krishna says, you have no choice. You have to practice by uh, abhyasa and vairagya. Abhyasa means like practice. You have to learn to practice to control mind, and vairagya. So while practicing, you also try to learn detachment. If you are so much used to sleep, you have a habit of sleeping for 10 hours, sleep for 8 hours, Slowly you can practice and develop. You also develop detachment also. Detachment in relation to the sleeping long hours. And by the continuous practice, Krishna says, if you are at this stage, you can renounce. Yoga Rudha stage, that a person can renounce and he can meditate, and he will get a Atma Sakshatkaram, like he will get a realization of his own self. He's also get a realization of Paramatma, Super Lord, Supreme Lord, right? But it may take months, years, or lifetimes to attain or even to come to that stage. Nobody is practicing in 2024. You don't see that. People are practicing some kind of meditation postures. That is good. Nothing wrong. That helps to control mind and senses. That helps to come to the stage of sattva guna, peace of mind, right? That is good. But that wouldn't help. Just by the practice of Ashtanga Yoga, meditation practice will not help to attain liberation. Period. Okay. As a as a learner, a practitioner, student of Bhagavad Gita, we must understand that Krishna also teaches that the path of Ashtanga Yoga is so difficult, and just by that path, even in the beginning stages, also one cannot attain liberation. It is impossible by the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. And towards the end, this is a turning point again. Towards the end, Krishna says, looking at Arjuna. Arjuna thought if he engages in the battle, if he works like a karma yogi, he will come to the stage of a self-realized soul and he can attain liberation. But the process seems to be so hard. Huh? This process seems to be so hard for Arjuna. Then looking at Arjuna, Krishna teaches bhakti yoga. Okay. And Krishna says, of all the yoga paths, Arjuna, take up the practice of bhakti yoga. You can quickly attain self-realization. You can quickly attain me. So that is a turning point. This is a complete theme. Okay. So this theme in the second half of Bhagavad Gita. So we looked at first half. This is the second half of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke about bhakti yoga. Okay. So far I covered a high level overview of first 6 chapters, and we look at high level overview of second 6 chapters. Okay. 1 second. Now here Krishna says, Arjuna, just by the practice of bhakti and bhakti yoga, you can attain moksha, liberation, right? The whole point from the beginning, from the second chapter, Krishna is driving Arjuna towards attaining liberation. So that is impetus for Arjuna to do his duty. That is the theme. Krishna revealing many things, which is also helpful for everybody, right? Yeah. So in the 7th chapter, for one to practice bhakti or bhakti yoga, bhakti means what? Love, devotion. We all have this love and devotion. We have this emotion of love and devotion, right? Sometimes we love things. We love a phone. Always thinking about the phone, always meditating on the phone, all the brand latest features of the phone. Or sometimes we think about a place, yeah, a vacation spot, thinking about it, meditating. We love the place, we love the people, we love our children. This is all good, nothing wrong in doing that. It's a natural emotion within us to love others or love things. Krishna is saying, love Krishna. Simple. The practice of bhakti is not different from our way of life. It's same. Just it's a shift of mindset from things or people in general to Krishna, Bhagavan God. When you start thinking about the God, meditating on the Lord, in case of vacation, if you're going for a vacation, planning for a vacation, we do so much research. We think about the place, okay? And we plan for the place I stay, okay? I live for 10 days. This is my break. This is where I eat my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and these are the spots I visit. And this is a flight I'm going to come back. We think so much, right? The same thing Krishna is saying, engage your mind unto Krishna. Engage your mind unto me. in all your activities. Continue doing. The message is still the same. Plan for vacation, but engage your mind unto Krishna. That's the message. Okay. By such practice, one can develop love towards the Lord. Basically, loving God. That is the subject matter in second half of Bhagavad Gita. So, for one to love the God, the one has to know about the God. Okay. This is a common question. You're asking me to love you. Wow, I want to know everything about you, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. Arjuna is saying. And Krishna is also giving the message. For Arjuna to love Krishna, Arjuna has to know everything about Krishna. So Krishna speaks about himself, starting this chapter. He says he is the source of the entire creation. Hmm? Everything emanated from him, including this material nature, which consists of earth, water, fire, air, either, or the elements, material elements, emanated from Krishna. And he also speaks about superior to the dull matter in this world, there is a living entity, Atma. The Atma Tattva is something which has consciousness, we can do things, work, and superior to that, there is Bhagavan. And that is the verse Krishna says, Mattha Parataram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There is no one superior to me, there is nothing superior to me. Mayi protamidam sarvam sutreva manighanaiva. And Krishna says, he is spread in everyone and everything as a super soul. The God is present in this phone, in this laptop, in this monitor, everywhere, everywhere and everything. Krishna gives an example of a necklace, right? So if you're wearing a necklace, you can see all the beads and there is a thread, right? Necklace like a pearl necklace. You see the pearls and also a thread. So the thread is the one which is sustaining all the beads, right? If the thread is pulled away, all the beads will fall apart. So the thread is also permeated. Thread is also permeated into each and every bead, right? It is into each and every bead. So similarly, Krishna permeated into this entire cosmic existence. There is nothing in the world without the presence of Lord. Whether it be good thing or bad thing or anything, it doesn't matter. Krishna is present. God is present. Science also says this, like there is a God particle in everyone and everything. Yes, that is true. Krishna also himself said here, God is present in everyone and everything. And not just that, he's controlling it. He's controlling, he's maintaining, he's making sure everything is functioning. Okay. And in the 7th chapter, Krishna also says there are different types of people who can understand the God. 4 categories of people who can understand the God, who some awareness, some knowledge about the God, and 4 kinds of people who totally reject the God, who don't like the God in their life. Okay. And without going into detail, out of all the 4 categories of people who are into the God, who like the God, who are towards the God, there is one person who is approaching God out of love, not out of material benefits. He goes to the Lord out of love. So such a person is called a gnani. A gnani. So Krishna says, I like that person. I like that person. Like going to the God, not for any benefits, material benefits, but out of love. Sometimes we go to temple out of love, right? Just to see the Lord, we go to temple. Sometimes we go to the God to fulfill a desire. God, I'm in a trouble, help me. Ardo ardhardi jignasu gnani. So a person wants wealth. God, I'm in job problem, help me. I'm in that problem, help me. So various reasons people go. But Krishna says if a person goes to the Lord out of love and devotion, such a person is a great soul. Krishna likes that person. Krishna himself says it. Okay. And towards the end of 7th chapter, Krishna says, it's another shift, turning point again. In a movie, there are turning points, right? So in the end of 7th chapter, also there's a turning point. So here, end of the 7th chapter, Krishna says, Arjuna, even at the time of death, prayana kala, even at the time of death, if you can think about me, you'll attain me. You'll attain me. Okay. So that is a seed for chapter 8. Then Arjuna asks this question, what is that prayana kala? What is that? How can I remember you at the time of death? I want to know about prayana kala, last minute remembrance of anything. Can you speak about the significance of last minute remembrance, Krishna? Then Krishna teaches this beautiful chapter where he goes into importance of remembering God at the time of death. So Krishna says, whatever, if a person thinks about the God, meditates on the God, and leaves his body, such a person is guaranteed to attain Supreme Lord. Antakale cha mameva smaranmukta kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati natriyata samshaya. So Krishna says there is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. If a person, any living being, human, can think about the God, last minute remembrance, such a person can attain, guaranteed to attain God. And Krishna also says, if a person thinks about something else, a wife, children, anything other than God, then he will get that nature. He will not get liberation. He will get some other body. If a person is meditating on a dog, his pet dog, he will become a dog. He will become a dog. Okay. According to nature and mindset, he will get a body, a similar body. So Krishna says it is important for Arjuna and everybody in the practice of Bhakti Yoga to always meditate and think about the Lord throughout our life. Throughout our life. Whatever we do, whatever any actions we do, we can do in God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So that way we can remember the God. Okay. And towards the end, Krishna says, if a person can, now Arjuna has to know, right? So one may ask Krishna, why should I remember you at the time of death? What is moksha, liberation? Can you tell me? Can you tell me more details about the significance of liberation? Krishna says, if a person get liberated by such way, thinking about the Lord, living body, he will go to the spiritual world. Tadhama paramam mama. Krishna says his abode is so spiritual, there's a spiritual planet that will never get destroyed. Abhama bhonaloka punarovartanti no Arjuna. So other than that, other than spiritual world, anywhere a soul goes, soul has to take birth again and again, and the entire material creation will get created, destructed. It continues again and again, and the universe lasts for 311 trillion years. It continues. But if a person goes attain liberation, that's it, done. His job is done. Right? And Krishna also teaches the path. There is a path of light and there is a path of darkness. Very important thing. When the soul leave the body, it is also important how the soul leave the body. If the soul leaves the body in the path of light, Archiradi Marga, right? So such a soul will attain the Supreme Lord. If a soul leaves the body through Dhumardi Marga, in the path of darkness, unfavorable situations, if the soul dies, so soul has to take birth again. Soul will never go up into spiritual world. It's a very technical concept. And Krishna, after speaking 8th chapter, now Krishna wants Arjuna to attain Supreme Lord, and Krishna wants Arjuna to do his duty. Both are very important. Okay, that is the whole message of Bhagavad Gita. Continue doing your duty, work towards liberation. That is a theme. Okay, in the 9th chapter, Krishna says, I am going to tell you out of love the most confidential information, the bhakti and the practice of bhakti yoga. Okay? So Krishna again speaks about himself, that he is a source of creation and his relation with Prakriti, material world. When the Lord descends, Lord is not touched by any of the material things. Okay. And Krishna also clears the misconception people in general have about God. When the bhakti devotion is maturity, at the stage of maturity, one would see the God in everyone, everything, Brahman, everyone, everything. But in the beginning stages, people have different conception about the God. Some people think God is this, that, God is impersonal, God doesn't have a form, or God is nothing but a demigod. Everybody is a God. There is a big display of God. Everybody is a God. So people have different conception about demigods. Krishna cleared all the misconception in ninth chapter about demigods. Demigods are also like ordinary human beings like us. They're also ordinary human being like us. If a person worship a demigod, he will attain the demigod. But the place is also temporary. It is not in spiritual world. Demigod place is also in the material world. Okay. So Krishna says for Arjuna to attain liberation, Arjuna has to focus on the Supreme Lord alone. Mukunda, Krishna, Narayana is called Mukunda. He is the only one who can grant moksha. Okay. So this is the 9 chapters, overview of all the 9 chapters, high level overview. If you have attended previously, you could reflect upon what we have discussed. Okay, now the 10th chapter. So connection in this 7, 8, 9 chapters is for one to develop bhakti yoga. Krishna spoke about himself, what is to attain. What is to attain? That is the Supreme Lord himself. One has to have knowledge about the Lord. How to attain is spoken in 8th chapter. How the meditation practices, always being in devotional services, right? And in the 9th chapter, Krishna talks about practices, various practices. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. A leaf one can offer to God. A flower one can offer to the God. A fruit one can offer to the God. Out of love and devotion, one can establish a relationship with the God, friend relationship or motherly, any relationship with the God. One can be in God consciousness. That is also a practice of bhakti yoga. Okay. And for one to enrich bhakti, so bhakti is in the beginning stage. The practices need to be performed. Krishna spoke about that. But to enhance our bhakti, to enrich our devotion towards the Lord, we have to know more about the Lord. That was also the situation about Arjuna also. Actually speaking, Bhagavad Gita should end at ninth chapter. Bhagavad Gita should end at 9th chapter because Krishna already spoke all the subject matters, high level, everything Krishna spoke about Atma, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. 7 and 9 chapters, Krishna already spoke about Bhakti Yoga. It is done. But Arjuna was not ready. Arjuna, if Arjuna had said that Krishna, I'm ready, let's go, buddy, let's go and fight. I'll do this work as a service to you. I'm ready. And I'll work towards liberation by the practice of Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna did not say that. Arjuna wants to hear more about Krishna. More about Krishna. So it is for Arjuna and for everybody. Krishna goes more detail about himself. In this 10th chapter, which is titled Vibhuti Yoga, in English, it's the opulence of absolute truth. Absolute. Opulence like a wealth. We have a wealth, right? I have this house. This is my opulence, my wealth. Right? Because this I own this one. So Krishna also says that his opulences, everything. Krishna goes in detail. We'll see that. So gaining knowledge about Krishna and opulence of Krishna, that will enrich our bhakti. Example, Krishna takes a category. You can say like, out of all the stars, I am this. Out of all the horses, I am this horse. Out of all the demigods you can consider 3.3 crore demigods, I am Indra. Right? So Krishna takes a prominent things and Krishna says it is because of him. Mama Tejamsa Sambhavam. It is because of Krishna's presence only someone is great. Someone is great or something is great. If I say like this iPhone is great, it is because of Krishna only. Because of presence of Krishna only. Krishna is saying, don't run behind this iPhone. Don't run behind this iPhone. Look at me. I am also present in this iPhone. You appreciate me instead of appreciating Apple company. So that is a theme. That is a theme. Anything we live in this world, we see many things, we get attracted, we'll get attached to many things. Either a person or a thing or anything in general. Krishna says it is because of Krishna only uh, that the thing got its property and we are appreciating it. We say like wow, right? Something is wow. Niagara Falls is wow, wow, such a beautiful waterfall. Krishna says it because of him. It is because of presence of Krishna only, right? So we see things as things. We don't see things as God's divinity there. We don't see God's divinity in a thing, right? With my eyes, I look at Niagara Falls, I'll say, oh wow, what a beautiful waterfall. But I don't see the divinity in the waterfall, right? So Krishna is saying, you see that. How to see that is spoken in this 10th chapter. Okay, so quick high level of entire Bhagavad Gita. First 6 chapters, Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. One has to work as a selfless service to the God without expectation of result, without attachment to the result, being neutral to success or failure. One would attain purification of mind, purification of consciousness. Then one can go towards the path of Ashtanga Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga practice is so hard. The Bhakti Yoga practice is so easy, simple. One can sit at their comfort of their life. One can sit and meditate on the God, and such practice one can help. That such practice will help one to attain liberation. Okay, and the last 6 chapters, Krishna talks about various subject matters in detail, goes in detail. And towards the end, Krishna says, you manmana bhava bhakto, always think about me, always meditate on me, practice bhakti yoga. You are guaranteed to attain liberation. Again, Arjuna has a perplexed face. What about my past sins? I've committed so many sins, I have no idea. I can practice, but I have no idea I'll attain perfection in this lifetime by the practice of bhakti yoga. Then Krishna could understand this is a message for Krishna, Arjuna, and also to everybody. Krishna says this beautiful verse, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Ahantan Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashami Masachaha. Krishna says, just surrender unto me, just devoted unto me. I'll wipe out all your sins. If you're not perfect in Bhakti Yoga also, no problem. I'll give you liberation. Masachaha. Don't worry, guaranteed. Guaranteed if you surrender to me, says Krishna. Surrender to Krishna. When you surrender to Krishna, Krishna guarantees moksha. That is the entire message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so it's already 7:27. So I want to tell a story. I spoke so much about many things. We'll continue this next session, but I'll tell you a story of a great devotee of the Lord. If the bhakti is pure, if the bhakti is pure, God's focus is always on the bhakti. God's focus is always on the devotee. Okay, so little bit background. So this is a story about Kanakadasa and also a deity in Udupi. In Udupi, in Karnataka, there is a Udupi place. In that place, there is a temple and there is a deity of the Lord. He is Krishna himself. It is a Krishna's deity there. Okay, so it is said that, as per scriptures, it is said that the deity was worshipped by the Rukmini Devi during the presence of Krishna. During the presence of Krishna in Dwapara Yuga, when Krishna was present, Mother Rukmini, the consort of Krishna, she asked, "My dear Krishna, when you are away, I can't feel I'm missing you. I'm missing you when you are away. I want to worship a baby form of yours, Balakrishna, baby form of yours. I want to worship. I want to worship that. Okay. Uh, can you give me a deity? Can you make a deity? Can you help me arranging a deity so that I can worship you? Then Krishna says he brings Vishwakarma, the universal architect who created many things in this universe. So he calls universal architect and he says, okay, now he gives the vision so that he can create a Balagopal, like this baby form of Krishna, baby form of Krishna. And Rukmini used to worship the deity nicely. So after Dwapara Yuga, there was like entire Dwaraka was immersed in water, and the deity was also um, immersed in water. Right? Keep it short. That was the end of Dwapara Yuga. Now, beginning of Kali Yuga, everything started. And this is the time of Madhvacharya. So, just like Adi Shankaracharya is one of the great Acharya. He propounded Advaita philosophy, and Madhvacharya, he propounded Dvaita philosophy. Dvaita. He's also a great devotee of the Lord. He's also a Vaishnava. So during his time, when he was sitting here on the near the, you can see this picture. So just sitting near the shore of a ocean, and he was in pure devotion, meditating on the Lord. So that time, suddenly there was a big hurricane, and there were mighty winds were blowing here and there, and there is a ship, the big ship. In that ship, there was a businessman. So that businessman, his everyday business is to go. He's a diamond business. Okay, he's a granite businessman. He goes and collects the stones and comes back and he sells it. That's his business. Okay, he was on the ship and the ship was in total disturbance. It was almost about to sink. That time, the businessman called out, "Is there anyone to help me? Is there anyone to help me? Help me! I'm in trouble." So Madhvacharya, he's a divine soul, right? He's a great devotee of the Lord. He just waved like this, let things settle. Let things settle. So everything is settled, and the boat was able to come. Boat was able to sail safely. So this businessman drove the boat towards this Madhvacharya, and he saw it is because of Madhvacharya only his life is saved, and he requests Madhvacharya, you saved my life. I want to offer something to you. I want to give something to you. I'm a businessman. All I have is the stones. Like these are precious stones. I want to give it to you. Then Madhavacharya says, I know. You give me this stone. Okay. Madhavacharya knows what's going to happen. So he give me this stone. So he got the big stone. Madhavacharya just touched it, and the stone broke, and this beautiful deity appeared again. So this is the same deity Rukmini Devi used to worship in Dwapara Yuga. So the same deity appeared again. Right? So Madhvacharya, he installed this deity in Udupi in Karnataka, and he still worships that. And many, entire generation now also everybody worship that. That temple still exists. Okay, there's a background about the deity form. We have a few more minutes. I'll quickly cover. So in that place in Udupi, many people used to visit the temple. There were great devotees of the Lord, and there was a devotee named Kanakadasa. Kanakadasa. He was a great devotee of the Lord. He used to sing nicely all the glories of the Lord. Hmm. Whenever he sings, everybody is like get assembled. They all want to hear about the Lord from him. Kanakadasa. He was such a pure soul. Kanakadasa. He was a disciple of Vyasacharya. He's not Vyasadeva, Vyasacharya, one of the saintly person. So this Vyasacharya instruct Kanakadasa to visit this temple. You go and visit this temple. Okay. So as per the instructions of his guru, teacher, he goes to visit this temple. But temple environment was not so favorable. Okay. He was not a Brahmana. He was low caste. He was born low caste, but he is so much devoted to the Lord. He was not allowed to enter from the main entrance. He was kicked out. Go away from here. Again, Kanakadasa also, he just sits there and sings nice bhajan of Krishna, sings nice glories of Krishna. Why you made this world like this? What sin I did that I'm not allowed to see you? I want to see you as per instruction of my guru. I want to see you. I want to have darshan. Then he was thrown away. He was again moved to. He was pushed towards the west direction of the temple. West direction of the temple. He was in the east direction. He was pushed towards the west direction of the temple. Okay. While he was singing, to his surprise, the god was actually facing east. If you go any temple, God faces east. The deity form of the god faces east. But in case of Kanakadasa, out of his Lord was so much pleased by the selfless love of Kanakadasa. His so much tears were flowing from the eyes of Kanakadasa. Looking at that, God was so pleased and he shifted position. He himself shifted position. He was facing east and he shifted position to face west towards Kanakadasa. So there is so much light and effulgence. And Kanakadasa was really surprised to see what is this happening. And he looked at it and I mean that the west door like has some holes in it. And Kanakadasa could, you can see in this picture here, right? So Kanakadasa could see the god who is facing him directly. So his devotion was so pure that God himself was pleased. Okay. And since then, the God faces west. God faces west. You don't see any temple God facing west or any direction. God facing west can be seen only in this temple. This is a real story. Okay. Though the essence of story is one has to enrich, if you have some devotion, one has to enrich or enhance the devotion towards the Lord. So by hearing about the great devotees of the Lord, by hearing the message of Bhagavad Gita, and by hearing the message of opulence of Krishna, that is a 10th chapter, one can enhance the bhakti towards Krishna. Okay. So with that being said, I'll stop here. I know today's session was content heavy. Many things, many technical aspects we covered. I hope you have gained some info. Thank you all. And please feel free to share your thoughts and realizations. Thank you. Hare Krishna.